All right, guys, let's jump on a seesaw. Y'all remember seesaws? Yeah, those were good times. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a another digital classroom where students can gather. But this is a little different than like Google Classroom or even maybe like Flipgrid, which I mentioned earlier as a a gathering place for students. This is really an individual journal for students, and it's really for K-5. So I just kind of want to walk you through the steps, how to get this started. It is very simple, and I know teachers who do use this and they do love it. So let's get the party started. For starters, it is free. If you're a teacher, you go in as a teacher. If you're a student, you go in as a student. If you're a student, I want to show you the login abilities here. So they can sign in with an email address if they're older students. They have those, or have the ability to give them a code in which they can log in right here. So two different ways. Also, they can scan a code with the camera on the phone, maybe mom or dad's phone, or like a Chromebook or something. So I'm going to go back to teacher login. And by the way, I'm just kind of just doing the very basics with this. If you go to YouTube, there are teachers who have like a 20-minute training with lots of specifics on this, and you are welcome to check all those out. So I'm logging in, and let's create a class. I just want you to see the basics of this. Create a class. Say it is for first grade. You can name it Buff class, whatever you want to name it. Hit check. Shazam, we did it. And let me move my little head over here. And on the bottom, you can see we need to get students into our class. So that's important. First off, how do we get students in here? If you hit the plus sign on the bottom, do your students log in with Google accounts and email addresses or no? If you say no, then let's look at that process. If you yes, you click this. Let's say they're one-to-one because they're at home. Maybe you're kind of thrown in this online learning thing. So we go to one-to-one, and you have to add the students' names, or you could copy paste a list, maybe from your student information system. So let's just name one here. Let's say Bubba. That's a fun name. I love Bubba and Sue. I'm going to write a song about those two. And then hit check. And it says right here, when you're ready, follow these instructions. So they're going to scan that code, or they can just type that in. They could type that code right there in on that website we looked at a second ago, and they'll pick their name. So what's interesting is when they get in, they actually have to pick their names. You can see in this little graphic right here. There you go. So I'm going to be done with that. That looks good. You can also invite the families of these students to kind of keep up with their journal. The thing they're producing for you as a teacher, they only get to see that. Those families only get to see their specific child's work. This is not a collaborative effort like maybe Flipgrid or Google Classroom, where students can converse and do those things or see each other's work easily. This is really meant for individual journal making. Students are keeping up with their own learning. So if you go to, let's see here, activities, you want to add an activity. There's probably none in here. Yep. Assign to class, scheduled, archived. But they have an activity library. Let's kind of go there, see if there's some built-in ones. Here's the community, and there is a large community of this. Home learning ideas, bam. Distance learning day template. Hey, let's go with this one. This looks awesome. Click on add a response. It's telling them what to do. This teacher made this, and you get to share it with your students. Fill out each of the pages, use pens. And what's cool is the students have all these tools they have access to. So they can take pictures with the phone, or maybe their tablet at home, or their laptop, whatever they have. And then they turn in their work. So right here, the teacher is giving them options. You can use pens, you can use labels, pictures, or videos, microphone, audio, whatever you want. So I'm going to assign this. I guess I could go through it too, make sure I like it. There it is. Make a pattern at your house and take a picture of it. Build something at your house and take a picture of it. Just, some of these are touching on some of those first grade standards. Hit assign. You cite to your class. Bam. And there it goes. And the teacher actually gets to see all that come in. So I'm going to go back to my class. Let's go to our assigned. There it is. There's my assigned activities right here. I have 0 responses. I'm waiting for approval. But when I get them in here, I'll see them right here, and then I can